Okay, time for the end of year roundup. A little bit late, but nonetheless, let's do it. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Whiskey Shed. My name is John McGrath, an Irishman in his workshop tasting whiskies. Now, this is going to be the end of year roundup. I'm a little bit late. It's the first week of January, so this is going to be my best whiskies of 2020. At least the ones I've reviewed on my channel. So my channel is only new. I started it back in September 2020, and I have all the whiskies that I've reviewed so far. I'm missing one bottle, which is a bottle of Slane, so you guys are going to have to get the mental image of that bottle of Slane. I'll put it up on the screen there now because that guy is in the running for the best budget Irish whiskey. So what we'll do is we run quickly over the whiskies that I've reviewed this year. I'll give you an update on what I think of them now because my opinion has changed on some of them. I'll tell you my favourite whiskey of the year. I'll tell you which ones I'd buy and which ones I wouldn't buy again. And yeah, we'll just jump in, shoot the breeze. Let's do it. Okay, so let's start. Now, by no means am I saying these are the best whiskies in the world. This is just a review and a summary of the whiskies that I've reviewed so far on my channel. So I'll give you an update on them. So let's get cracking. So what we'll do is I'll divide them up first into what I would buy and what I definitely wouldn't buy again. And then I'll give you a little update on all the bottles of whiskey. So two I want to take out of the equation so straight away is a bottle of Jameson and a bottle of Powers. Now, I always have a bottle of Powers and a bottle of Jameson on the shelf. They're €22 whiskies. They're good Irish whiskies. They won't blow your mind or anything like that, but they're nice to have. If anybody comes around, they want a drink, they want an Irish coffee or a cocktail like that, it's always nice to have a bottle of Jameson and a bottle of Powers Gold Label. They're real crowd pleasers and they are cheap, and I think everybody kind of keeps a bottle of them on their shelf. So we'll remove those two from the equation, just because they're kind of the two whiskies that everybody kind of keeps, especially here in Ireland. They would always have a bottle of Jameson and a bottle of Powers, and definitely I would buy them again. So we'll take them out of the running. Now, next, if we go move our way down along the line, the Glendalough Double Barrel. Now, when I reviewed the Glendalough Double Barrel, I kind of was blown away by it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was lovely. It's aged in Oloroso sherry cask, which is what I really like in a whiskey. It had all those beautiful flavours of the deep, rich fruits you get from it. But as I've kind of made my way down through the bottle, it started to get really peppery and really hot, and I got that real heartburn from it. So jury is kind of out on this one at the minute. I'm not sure whether I'd get a bottle again. When I first opened the bottle, it was absolutely lovely. Making my way down through it though, not so much. So my opinion is kind of changing slightly on the Glendalough. So there we go. Now, next one up is the Waterford whiskey. This is Waterford whiskey's Gaia 1-1. This is their release. This is their completely organic whiskey. Now, I bought it, if you remember my review, because I'm a Waterford man. It's great to see a distillery open up in Waterford, and I wanted to get one of the first bottles of one of their first releases, and this was one that intrigued me. It's their Gaia, like I say, it's their 100% organic whiskey made from 100% Irish barley. It's a lovely whiskey. It's a lovely new make whiskey. It wouldn't blow your mind. It hasn't got all the flavours that I like in a whiskey, but it's really, really nice. In a few years' time, this will be exceptional. Would I buy another bottle of this again? No, simply because I bought it first because of the novelty value of it and the fact that it was Waterford whiskey. I'm not tempted to go buy another bottle of this. I am, however, going to keep an eye on Waterford whiskey. They're doing some very, very interesting things. I'm definitely going to try some more of their releases, but I hope that they kind of develop an identity there at Waterford whiskey, that they have a bottle that you know what you're getting, and that it doesn't become like an experiment for every single release, and that you're never quite sure what it's going to be. I'm fascinated to see how some of their older whiskies in a few years' time now, what they'll actually put out. I'm really intrigued to see, because their new make stuff is very, very good. I mean, it's an exceptional whiskey for a 4-year-old whiskey. So when it becomes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and how they age it and how they finish it, that will be very, very interesting indeed. But for now, it's nice to have bought it. Again, it's the novelty factor for me that it's from my hometown. That's why I got it. So I won't buy another bottle of this. So we leave that back. Now, next up, Jameson Black Barrel. This is probably one of the only bottles of whiskey that I've actually finished of all the whiskies because some friends helped me out. This stuff is lovely. I really like it. Again, it's not very expensive. You can get it on sale for around €30, so it's about 30 to 45 euros. Again, it's aged in recharred bourbon barrels, so they've recharred the inside of the barrel, and this is butterscotch in a bottle. It is lovely toffee butterscotch notes. It's really easy drinking, very, very nice, and yeah, I highly recommend it. So that's going to go forward. That's Jameson Black Barrel. Now, next on the list, we have the Teeling's Irish whiskey. This is the single pot still whiskey. This is kind of the first one they've released from their Teeling's distillery that they've set up in Dublin. And this one is a real kind of love it or hate it, I think. It has that kind of Marmite kind of ness to it. I said it kind of had a kind of a coffee note and a kind of a vegetative note to it. I haven't gone back to this one too much, so that kind of speaks for itself. I'm kind of picking different bottles off the shelf rather than this one. In fact, it's only down to about there. I've only had a couple of shots of this. Now, I did like it. It's not going to be for everybody. Would I buy it again? Probably not. So we leave that one back as well. Next up, we have another one from Powers. This is the Powers John's Lane. This is the 12-year-old. This is absolutely fantastic. I love this. It has a real kind of leather note and taste to it, which is absolutely lovely. It has that lovely creamy pot still Irishness. It has the fruitiness that you get from Powers. It's all in there. It's a 12-year-old whiskey. It's bottled at, what did I say it was? 46%, like non-chill filtered. And it's a lovely, lovely whiskey. Would I buy this again? Absolutely. I think all the Powers are lovely. So let's keep moving on down. Right, next up then is another Powers, and this is Powers 3 Swallow. Now, I really like this, and I still really like this, and I picked it up for 30 euros at the time. It was an absolute bargain for that. So if you see this for 30 euros, get it. You will definitely not be disappointed. Again, lovely pot still Irish whiskey. It has a real kind of fruitiness that you get from Powers. It has that peppery note, and it has that pot still spice. And I believe there's Oloroso sherry cask influence in this one as well. So very, very nice. I had a couple of drops of this last night, and I was just thinking to myself how easy and nice this is to sip on. It's a real pleasant whiskey, and when you pick it up for 30 quid, like I say, it's an absolute bargain. So that one is definitely a yes. Now, next up we have, I should put these together actually, these are the Spot whiskies. So Green Spot, another favourite of mine. Again, Irish single pot still whiskey, so it's the quintessential Irish style, like a lot of the ones I've put forward. Very, very nice. I would definitely buy a bottle of Green Spot again. It's a lovely fruity kind of whiskey again. It has that kind of harvest time fruits to it, and it has that I suppose that pot still spice, that creaminess, it's all in there. It's lovely. 10-year-old, I believe, from Mitchell & Sons, and yeah, absolutely lovely whiskey. Highly recommended. Now, one of the most recent reviews I did was Yellow Spot. Slightly more expensive than the Green Spot. I'm not sure is it 20 euros better than the Green Spot, but it is nice. It has the Malaga cask influence, so you get that kind of nutty, kind of marshmallowy note. I don't get so much the marshmallowy note from the Malaga cask, but there is a kind of an unusual sweetness in there that's very, very nice. Really, really nice. Definitely one I would pick up again if I saw it on sale. But if it came to a choice between paying the 60 euros or the 80 euros for this, I think I would pick up the Green Spot. So we'll put that forward. But yeah, I think Green Spot could just be the winner just because of the price and because of it's a good bargain. Let's keep going. Okay, next up, Redbreast 12-year-old Cask Strength. Do I like this? Absolutely, I like this. It's absolutely fantastic, and I don't know what else can you say about it. It's Redbreast 12 just turned up. This kind of has ruined all other whiskies for me. When you kind of taste them now, you're trying to compare it to this. It's absolutely fantastic. It's bottled at, I think, 55.8% ABV, so it's cask strength. It has a kind of a punch to it, but if you're kind of used to drinking whiskey, I think it's very, very, it's well in the mix. It's not a big ethanol kick from it. You have all those lovely, lovely flavors from the Oloroso sherry casks. You have the deep, deep fruits. It is Christmas cake. It's that Christmas fruit cake in a bottle, turned all the way up with a lovely woody barrel note in there. And it has a real staying power. It has a brilliant finish. It's a real kind of strong, powerful whiskey, but at the same time, everything just sits so well in the mix. It's an absolutely fantastic whiskey. It's 90 euros a bottle, so it's up there, you know, but it's definitely one I recommend, definitely one you should treat yourself with, and I will definitely pick up another bottle of that. Moving on then to Redbreast 12, everything I would say about that is in this. This one is just toned down a bit. This is just a standard Redbreast 12. This is proofed down to 40% ABV, so that's straight out of the cask, and that is this, just they proof it down with water, so you get down to 40%. Now, a few friends of mine, I was trying this over the Christmas. Some of them preferred the Redbreast 12-year-old just because they thought that was a little bit strong. I suppose if you're not used to drinking whiskey, then, you know, cask strength whiskey can be up there. But if you do like a whiskey, you will love that. And you will also love this. That highly comes recommended as well. Now, getting to the end of the line, we have the Kilbeggan. This is the traditional Irish whiskey. This is around 17 euros a bottle. And no, that has a real hit of nail polish remover I got from it. It wasn't nice. I tried and tried and tried to do everything with it to see if I could get to like it, and no, so it's not even one I'm going to finish. Same with the Rowan Co. Not for me. Didn't really like it. I'm going to pass on it. The Maker's Mark, then, that's one of the only ones I see. That's a not Irish whiskey. This is a bourbon. I do intend to do more bourbons and scotches coming up. It's kind of mostly focused on Irish whiskey I have on this channel. Maker's Mark is quite nice. It's quite pleasant. It has a kind of candied cherry note to it. That's a bit... it's a bit artificial cherry, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of that candy, sweet kind of note to it. That's a little bit off-putting maybe. My wife kind of liked it. It's not bad. It's okay. I don't think I'd buy it again. I'm glad I tried it. But yeah, I think that's kind of it where we're at. So let's get rid of these ones, and then we'll talk a little bit more. I just forgot myself the bottle of Slane. That's still here in the mix. Don't forget it. I haven't got the bottle. I finished that bottle with some friends and I don't have the bottle anymore. So that's definitely up front. That's definitely in the running. So yeah, there's a bottle of Slane up here. Okay guys, so we have whittled it down to whiskies that I really like. These are all the ones that I buy again. Remember, there's a bottle of Slane there, so I would definitely buy that again as well. Again, I'm just leaving the Powers and the bottle of Jameson to the side because they're just kind of the go-to whiskies. Like I said, they're always on my shelf and I will always buy them again. Now, of the ones that are left, let's separate them into the budget category and I suppose the more expensive end of things. So Jameson Black Barrel, I would say, goes into that. The Powers, 3 Swallow, and the bottle of Slane. Now, Slane is definitely one of my favourite budget Irish whiskies. I suppose 3 Swallow would just be in the budget category. It can sell for in around 50 euros, but I picked it up for 30 euros. It was the same price as the Black Barrel at the time. And I think when it comes down to it, I would put the Powers in first for the budget whiskey, Slane second, and the Black Barrel third. So of the budget whiskies that are out there that would be considered Irish or budget Irish whiskies, definitely Powers, 3 Swallow is fantastic. Slane is absolutely fantastic. It's around 27 euros a bottle. This is around 30 to 45 euros a bottle, and it's just a lovely drinking whiskey. So it's definitely a toss-up between the Slane. The Slane is a very close second, and the Powers, 3 Swallow, I think would be my favourite. So there we go, that's our budgets. Let's go on down. Okay, so we're on to the contenders for my favourite Irish whiskey, and we've moved up a price bracket into still all single pure pot still Irish whiskey. It's my favourite style of whiskey. It has that has a lovely kind of a peppery spice to it. It has a kind of a green note, almost like a pine nut kind of note. And you get a hint of nutmeg from it as well. So if you have any single pot still Irish whiskey, when you finish the glass, let the glass sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and come back and just nose the glass. You'll get a big nose full of nutmeg. That's what you get from it. And it came about by a happy accident. So when the British put tax on malted barley, because the Irish whiskey industry was so big, they wanted some of the money from it, the Irish whiskey distillers said, well, we'll use some unmalted barley. So in order to bring the tax burden down, they mixed in into the mash unmalted barley with malted barley, and happily pure pot still Irish whiskey was born, or as it's known today, single pot still Irish whiskey, which is the quintessential Irish style. It's what Ireland whiskey is known for. So what's the best of the lot? Well, you guys already know what I'm going to say. Redbreast cask strength, 12-year-old comes in at number 1. I mean, it has to. It's just a phenomenal whiskey. And for the price, I don't know, could you get a nicer whiskey than that? It comes in at 90 euros. So in order to taste a better whiskey, I'm probably going to have to go up in price and buy a nice bottle of whiskey sometime this year to see if anything can beat that. But I think for 90 euros, I don't think there's a whiskey in the world that's as nice. Second place then, it's a toss-up between Redbreast 12-year-old and the Powers John Slane. I really like this. I think it's an absolutely fantastic whiskey. So they're going to be kind of joint second. Third place then, I'm going to put the Green Spot. Very, very nice. Really, really drinkable. A nice kind of summertime whiskey. And in fourth of the whiskies on my channel that I've tasted this year, it's going to be the Yellow Spot. I would choose the Green Spot over the Yellow Spot just because it's 20 euros cheaper. I don't think that's 20 euros better, but definitely try both of them, make up your own mind. See the Malaga cask influence in this, taste them both together, and you'll definitely pick out the Malaga influence. If you like that, go for the Yellow Spot. So yeah, there we go guys. Redbreast cask strength, no surprise, that's my whiskey of the year for 2020. It'll probably be my whiskey of the year for 2021. But yeah, we'll try some more as the year goes on. So there you go. Right guys, so there we go. That's 2020 finished off. Now that we're in 2021, I know I'm a week late, but best Irish whiskey, Redbreast cask strength 12-year-old, and best budget Irish whiskey, Powers 3 Swallows. That's my choice from all the whiskies that I've reviewed this year. Either one of those or a few of the others, and you guys will not be disappointed. So hopefully you're enjoying the content, guys. Thanks for all your feedback and comments. Some of you are really enjoying it, so there's going to be more whiskey reviews coming up for 2021. I'm going to sprinkle in a few bourbons and a few scotches as well, just to change things up a small bit. Although my main focus of this channel will continue to be Irish whiskey, because I'm in Ireland and I can get my hands on it and I can tell you guys about it as well. So hopefully 2021 is going to be a better year for all of us. Hopefully some of the craziness calms down. So let's finish and wish you guys a happy new year. A little bit of Redbreast cask strength, because why not? Why not indeed? So there you go, guys. Happy 2021. Looking forward to making some more whiskey reviews. Thanks for all your feedback. Thanks to all the new subscribers, and thanks for all your comments. And here's to a better 2021. So Sláinte Amach Macara, Redbreast 12-year-old, cask strength, lovely. It's just delicious. It's just delicious. Again, it's a big spoonful of honey. All the lovely fruity spices, lovely oaky note. Ah, delicious, delicious, delicious. Fantastic.